Do you plan to relocate to the village from the diaspora? If you are, listen up. Things ain't always easy. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching me from. So I'm coming here to discuss about the transition of moving from the diaspora all the way to the village, in an African village specifically. Here, Uganda. It is okay to move there, but I've found that had I known all these things that I know now, I would have made a different decision, a different choice. Do I love the village life? I just love it. I'm not in my house, I'm in the center. The owners just said, okay, come here and see how it is like, and that's what I'm doing now. So as I'm here, I'm thinking, hang on a minute. If you're going to be moving to the village from the diaspora, please make sure you've got a sustainable income. Something that is going to be giving you an income, of course, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever, but at least a flow of income. If you don't have that, the African village will become pepe, it will be hot for you, it will be difficult for you, and that is one of the reasons that people go back. So that's one of the reasons. The second one, if you're going to be moving into the African village, think of the house you're going to be staying in. If it's a massive compound and it's with big rooms, big houses, and the house is unfinished, you are going to struggle. How do I mean? If the house isn't finished, you're going to be having so much dust. It is amazing how dust accumulates after you've just literally wiped and mopped. One. Secondly, you're going to be struggling with workers. Not everybody, but definitely most likely. I know very many people who are struggling with workers, with maids, and it is becoming so difficult for them to staying in the village because of that. So, if you're moving in the village, what I was saying, if you're moving in the village and you're in a big house, in a big compound, it becomes a struggle if one has no maids. Maids at the moment are becoming difficult to sustain. That scar there is from me washing because the maid left. Those nails I had done them, it's from me washing because the maid left. And I've had some of them, a few of these. I've been here almost coming to a year and a half, and I've got a few. And I was telling one of my sisters, I said, this one has just gone. She goes, that's how they are. One of them, she gave them money to come. They didn't even come. Another one, she gave them money to come. They came. At night, they escaped. Even my mom, same thing. Especially us who are in the villages, like me and my mom, we really do struggle with helpers, with someone to help in the house. Can you live by yourself in the village? Yes, you can, but you're going to be then cutting it, say, there are some things I'm going to do, some I'm not going to do. So what was I talking about? Maids. So some of them are difficult to come about. They are just so, I really don't know what they want. And at times, if you think, okay, the maid is going to come, I won't treat them the way maybe I was treated in my jobs when I was working abroad. I won't treat them well. It doesn't matter. And I've noticed, actually, I've gone to homes and people are treating maids in a very, very harsh way. And these maids are there for years. And I'm like, that is not me. I don't want to treat people harshly. And you think I'm not going to do that. I'm going to treat them like human beings, like anyone has. I've seen those I've treated well, they have come in the house and they've stolen my things. Like I kept saying, I've referred to this a number of times. And these are the joya shoes they stole. And my towel, duvet covers, Jeremiah's shoes. So when you treat them well, that's what they do. And then the others came. For example, there's a time I went and I bought a sack of sugar, a sack of rice. Within 4 weeks, they had finished. I'm like, how can a sack of sugar, 50 kilos, get finished? And I was told that some of them, they sell them. Some of it is given away. Other times when you're away, they drink tea like anything else. And yes, was I monitoring it? No, I thought myself, oh, they're there, let them monitor it. Or test that being stopped. Now, I used to see people keeping food and certain things like sugar in a locked cupboard or in a locked room. How can they do that by locking such foods in a room? Now, you lock. If you want to manage, you lock. Because they can't waste. Another came to my house, another maid came to my house, and she told me, you know me, auntie, I don't take I only eat rice, potatoes, and matoke with meat and vinyewa and groundnuts. I just did a double turn. I'm like, okay, really? Now I said, here we have kawunga on most of our meals. We have kawunga, ugali, posho on most of our meals. Firstly, two things. I like kawunga now, and I like beans, which is a far cry from when I was in secondary school, and I used to say that I would have a bellyache when I eat kawunga. It wasn't true when I started going to secondary school. I never used to have bellyache. But because I said it, the mind went and did it, and I would have a bellyache. Literally, I have a bellyache. But not because I was ill, but because I didn't want it, because one of my aunties went to secondary school and did eat beans. I'm like, I'm not eating beans, kawunga. And that's how it started. But now I really enjoy it. And I know the person who made me like kawunga is one of my Kenyan friends. She just, loves it, cooks it really well. So I enjoy my kawunga, skuma wiki, and nyama choma. I enjoy it. So then Jeremiah loves kawunga and beans. I'm happy for us to have kawunga and beans because we enjoy it. And even the boys in my house, bless them, they enjoy it. They would rather eat kawunga and beans than matoke and beans. And mind you, each time she should cook, she should serve herself. She would serve herself so much food that would remain on the plate and should throw it away. And I'm like, in my house, we don't throw food away. We do not. So you put what you want, what you can manage on the plate. If it remains, you eat it to the next day. You don't throw food away. Or you give it the chickens. Literally, I'll find it in the bin. She's gone and told people how my house will only eat kawunga and beans. How we have no TV, we have no fridge, and she cannot work there. I'm like, okay, you can go. I am not going to buy a TV or a fridge when I still have an unfinished house. No, that's not a priority to me. So, if you're going to go in the village, to recap, mind that you're going to go in a place where you can manage to stay and be able to do things by yourself. How do I mean? Get yourself a washing machine, even a dishwasher. Yes, I'm saying even a dishwasher if you can. Get yourself a cooker. Get yourself a fridge. Yes, a fridge so you can batch cook and keep your food in a freezer. Literally almost living the UK life, but in the village. Yes, literally almost like living the UK life, but in the village. The other thing I would advise to do if one is coming to the village is to make sure they have their electricity, solar, either generator or solar. Reason being, electricity goes, and if you've batch cooked and kept your food in the freezer, you're going to struggle because the electricity goes off anyhow and no warning. We export electricity, so I think, of course, when the water is low, they have got to honor the export, and ask it inside we have the secondary. So electricity goes. Water, please get yourself a well. The national water is there, but it's expensive, especially when you have workers who are going to be spoiling it and they will misuse the water. So I go to my sister's house and I see some of the workers, they just open the water and the water will just be overflowing. And of course, each drop is a unit to pay. Like now, I buy my water from a neighbor who has a well. He just pumps for me, and yeah, because I have chickens now, I'm buying it almost every week. I used to do it every month, but it's every week, and so it's costing me almost 80k a month, which is a lot, but slightly more cheaper than the national water, I think, because we have no national water in the village. So get yourselves those facilities. And one of the reasons you're going to get yourself electricity or generator is, like in my village, food is very expensive. So because of that, it would be better if you go like in a place like, for example, like when I'm coming from home, there are markets where you can go and buy in bulk. It is cheaper that way. Of course, if you've got the money. Because, if one doesn't have enough money, things end up being expensive that way as well. The other thing is security. If you're going to come in the village, I'll show you like my name. This is my village, by the way. This is the center. So you see like that house there, that one there. That house has got good security. And because it's in the center and it's finished, and it's good, like it's around people. It's much easier even if you stay there with one person like me and JJ, you can manage it. The dust will be reduced. We are around other people. There is good security. You've got your dogs, so that is easier. Unless like when you're coming at night, open the gate by yourself may be a bit difficult. So maybe getting like an askari who can help outside. That could be something that can be done. And then you do your things inside. You know, do your cooking, do your washing. If you have a washing machine, you do on the day you're there. You do your washing, you dry. Yeah. You don't really need any support, any help. So if you're coming to the village, please consider those things. Basically, unless it's dire or it's life and death, if you're not ready to come to the village, please don't come. Unless you're happy to struggle that I'm talking about. So with the security, we need really proper beefed up security. Like especially if you're in a place like mine, I'm so isolated. It's the only house which is like there. The others are the back, but the front and the side, I'm the only person. And then you go into like bush. So if one is going to come like in such an area like mine, have your security beefed up, have your dogs, and dogs are very difficult to find here. So have your dogs. Yeah. And of course then leaving the house to go in other places may end up being difficult in terms of like leaving the house by itself if you have no security may be difficult, but you could then have cameras. Being self-sustainable, it is possible, but if one is going to be farming, you really do need to have either machinery, which will be operated by somebody, or workers. If they know that you've come from abroad, they will double charge you. It is a must. It goes without saying. So you need to have those haggling powers, haggling skills. They will reduce, but not the cost of when you stay there much longer. I am still being overcharged now, and so some of the things I'm not doing there because it's so expensive. In the past, I didn't know that they were overcharging me because the person I was using, I literally trusted them, and they came up across as like they were really helping you, until I found out, for example, one day I was digging the sock pit, and I don't know if I've said it before, but I'll repeat myself. I was digging the sock pit, and the sock pit soil, which goes up to the maram, is literally bought, and people go and backfill their houses. In our village, quite a few people are building, so I know many people wanted soil. So I was like, oh, I'll sell it because I bought my soil. He goes, oh, nobody wants to buy the soil. And because I couldn't go, I didn't know how to go looking for people at the time. I didn't know, and I trusted him, like I'm saying. I believed him. And what I did, initially I didn't sell the soil, so I asked other people, but he had gone and spoken. So each person I was asking that I knew, that he knew, was telling me, oh, nobody wants the soil, nobody wants the soil. Eventually they told me for 50K, divide by 5. Yeah, for about 10, 11 pounds per trip, they will take the soil to pour it somewhere. So initially I accepted. So he came and took one trip and took the second trip. But the soil was not getting finished because I had two soak pits, a soak pit and a septic. And I'm like, he's going to take about 20 trips. That's 20 times 10, that's 200 pounds, almost 1 million. I'm like, leave it. I said, leave the soil, I'll pour it in front of my gate. So of course he got upset with the guy who was digging, said, oh, you went and told, they call me auntie or mommy or madam, you went and told her not to pay us. And I didn't. So me, I'm like, no. So that was the first time. I'm like, oh. So I started getting to know what he was doing over and over again, how he was going in the village, telling them, oh, that woman is very rich, you know, she takes her child to this and this school. I literally had to go to him and said, I'm asking you that stop talking about me. If anything happens to me, you're the first suspect. Anyway, we spoke, he knew he left, he never came back. So, what am I saying? Please, if you're coming back, be prepared. Make sure your house is finished. Make sure you have all these amenities to make it easier and to reduce the risk of one saying that I'm going to go back. Please do that. Let me not make this long. If there's anything else that you remember or you think of or you know that I have not spoken about and we can either discuss or you want me to talk about or you want to comment so people can know and I can know, kindly put in the comment section below. Otherwise, I want to thank all the returning subscribers. Mwibare mnonga. That means thank you very much. Anybody who's been watching and returning to watch and is not subscribed, I want to thank you as well. Thank you. For anybody who's watching who's new, please welcome the channel. Do subscribe, join us. Otherwise, like, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Blessings and blessings. Bye for now. As I'm going home, I'm seeing the beautiful village, how it is how it is being transformed, and I'm like, you know what, let me just take a little glimpse of my village to show my people. So this is it. People have done so well in the village, you people.